It's 25 to 9 and time on Radio 3 Breakfast for your call, which is your chance to tell us about a piece of music close to your heart. And this piece of music we're going to hear never fails to give me a thrill, says Henrietta Gordon in Lewes. Good morning, Henrietta.
Good morning, Sarah.
Tell us why the Dambusters March is so important to you.
Well, because it brings back memories of the time I spent in the film business.
What was your job? What were you doing?
I was a trainee assistant in the cutting rooms at Elstree in 1954-55 when the Dambusters film was made.
So it was made at Elstree Studios?
It was.
And what was your part in it?
Well, I was doing simple things like the editor cut the film, I joined it and numbered it ready for assembly. But I was also the gopher, so I had to take film clips over to the recording studios where the National Philharmonic Orchestra would play to fit in with scenes from the film.
So were they watching the films? Were they actually playing as they were recording?
Yeah, they would play to a film clip with so that they had to play to an exact timing to each clip, because it wasn't all in one piece, you know. So after delivering the film to the projectionist, I went down into the studio. Well, there was a man seated there, well muffled up with a woolly scarf for the winter, and it was Eric Coates. He asked me to sit with him, and we were the sole audience for the first performance of the Dambusters March.
Just you and Eric Coates sitting there together. How fantastic. Did you have an idea of who he was and how important this moment was?
Yes, I did. And I think that he, as far as I know, although he did a lot for the BBC music, with which I was familiar, but I think this was the only time he composed for a film. So he was in rather unfamiliar circumstances of a film studio, and he was very pleased to have somebody with him.
What was he like?
Well, he was very sort of small, unassuming man, you know, and very easy to talk to. And we chatted between takes. He asked me what I did, and he told me that he'd been asked to write a score for the film, but he told the producer, I think I finished it yesterday. So he'd already written the Dambusters March before the film, before he was asked to write for the film.
Sort of perfect synchronicity, really.
But he didn't do the whole score, but he did that appeared quite a bit in the course of the film.
So what an amazing memory. Thank you very much for sharing that, Henrietta. Here is the Dambusters March, the BBC Philharmonic conducted by Rhur. I get a thrill just thinking about Eric Coates all wrapped up in his scarf, listening to that being laid down for the film The Dambusters. His Dambusters March, the BBC Philharmonic there, conducted by Rhur. Many thanks to Henrietta Gordon in Lewes in East Sussex for sharing her memory of meeting Coates at Elstree Studios in the 1950s.